Hi all, welcome back. It's been a while. I hope you're all doing okay. Probably better than me, so I'm just on the boat anyway. And there's 2 small jobs I'm going to do whilst I'm here, maybe 3. Depends on if I can be bothered to climb on the front berth. But the very first job is this one up here. And I'm really hoping you can see this. So this clip is off and it should be connected to there. This one is on. And this is what holds this whole skylight down. And whilst it's tight, it's not leaking or anything, it should really have both of them on because it doesn't open it square. Now, I'm not sure, I'm hoping you can see, but there is a little metal thing in the middle here. And I don't actually think it's broke. This is this little bar here, this one, looks like it should go inside that little joint there, inside that little mouth, but it's just popped out. So I'm going to try prizing that open with a screwdriver and seeing if I can fit that in. Now, it could be that the plastic is split here. It doesn't feel like it, but it could be, and it's just a really narrow break, so I can't see. And if it is, this window is in fact made by Trend Marine, so I'll have to get in touch with Trend, see if I can buy a whole new one of these, or have a look, see if I can find one and fit it. But just for a quick one, I'm going to prise this open with a screwdriver, see if I can get that shoved in there and see if that will hold it. So in true Soslow fashion, I can't find my head mount, but also the plastic is actually, I don't know if you can see this, but the plastic is actually split, look. There you go, completely knackered. So I do need a completely brand new one of those because I doubt that even if I super glued that, that'll hold strong enough to hold the pressures and strengths involved. So I'm going to try and order a new one of those. My next issue is in this front cabin. So as you can see, this front cabin has lights all the way around, and it should have 2 lights up at the very front. Let me just turn that one off. It should have one there and one on the other side, just here where it's out. Now that light isn't working and I don't know why, so I'm going to go, there's actually straight above in the middle, there's actually another light switch, so I'm going to go have a crawl over there and take some screwdrivers with me, see if I can pull that light switch out and check, see if we've got power going through to a light, if it's just a loose connection or whatever, because I noticed that the headline is down a little bit in that corner as well. So I'm going to just crawl over there and we'll have a quick look. Right, so I'm up in the bed, sky. This is the first time I've ever actually laid up here. It's much harder to get up here than I expected. So this roof is hanging down a little bit here. You can see it from the front there. It's just sagging a little bit, but it doesn't feel like there's any issue there, and there's no real issue with any of this. It still slides over and seals okay. There's just a little drop there, so I think all that stuff's fine. So this is a light switch, and obviously that one turns on off that one, and this is this light. So I think that feels to me like this switch is knackered. If you feel it rocking, you can't, but I can. It's really, this one's quite easy to push through and it feels like a switch as you would expect. This is really stiff, and then you push through it, but then as you push through it, it doesn't go. But if you really gently hold it halfway, it stays on. I suspect this switch is knackered, so I don't have a spare one of these. These are just a standard caravan switch, not boat specific. When I was a kid in the 80s, we had a caravan with switches identical to this, so I know I can go and pick one of these up dirt cheap from a local caravan supply shop. So I'm just going to pop myself and just have a look to see if it's something at the back that's easily get uppable, but it actually feels like maybe there's been a bit of water in it at some point and the contacts have maybe corroded. So I'm just going to pop it off. I'm not taking the power off or anything, I'm leaving it all live. I'm just going to pop it off and we'll have a quick look and see if there's anything obvious and simple to repair. But if not, then that's item number 2 I need to go and order. So I'll just do that and I'll be back shortly to show you. Okay, so this has never been out in the entirety of this boat since it was made, I don't think. So this is the side that is causing issues. Look, it's this side, and actually looking at the contacts and connectors, that side doesn't look too bad. You can see the terminals there look all good. There's no obvious issues on this side, so that's interesting. This side, however, the side that's actually ironically working fine, is quite heavily copper furred up. So there's definitely been water into it at some point, or maybe just really bad condensation. There's no stains as far as I can see, so I don't think we've had water ingress into here. I just think it might just be a really bad condensation. Maybe the hatch or something was left open. I can't break the pots open to get to the switch to clean it. I will place a guess that there'll be 2 metal prongs inside with a little weighted rocker of some description, and the switch will push against a ridge which will force it up to one of the prongs up to touch the other one. Something like that. It'll be some basic mechanism, and I'll place a bet that the contacts are maybe furry if I've had a bit of water in, and that's what's stopping it getting a good connection. That's what's stopping this light from reliably working. But as I say, I can't get in there, so I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm just going to order a new switch. All these are nicely wired and terminated, so it should just be disconnected and reconnected in the same order. Good to go, 5-minute change, and then this light will work reliably. And obviously this light works fine anyway at the moment. So 2 jobs that I can't do without ordering parts, but that's good. Yeah, that means that I can fix 2 more issues. Now, my big issue. So I'm just going to get out of here and go and get up onto the cockpit deck, get some shoes on, and I will explain to you my next big issue. And so, here's my next problem. I don't know why, but you guys won't be able to hear this, by the way. But the diesel heating, the fan is on. The heating isn't on, but the fan is on. Which is really odd, because that's where the controller should plug into it. And you'll notice there's no controller plugged into it, because here is the old controller. This one is broken. This is not connected to anything. This was flooded by water by the people I bought the boat off, and is useless. They sent me a new controller, which is also not connected to anything, because the new controller has, let me just unfasten this. Sorry, difficult with only one hand. Because the new controller has a male 3-pin socket on it, and the old controller has a female 3-pin socket. So that means that my wiring loom in here, ouch, my wiring loom in here also has a 3-pin male. So I cannot put new male controller directly to old wiring loom, and I haven't resolved that yet. So neither of my controllers are connected, but yet my heating is blowing. That means that, to me, either the heating unit, which is somewhere back here, is knackered, shorting out or whatever. This obviously isn't shorting out, because although it is disconnected, the cables are isolated. So I don't know why it's on. So I've got to now get into the engine bay, yeah, into the hole, and go and find where the power is getting to that heater and pull the power out of it. I had a quick look, cursory glance when I got here, and it was pitch black, and it looks like it's hardwired directly to the battery. So hopefully there's a fuse, and it's as simple as I can get in, squeeze in, get my fingertips on a fuse and pull a fuse. If not, I've got to either trace it back to the batteries or pull open the diesel heater unit to disconnect it from diesel heater. which is all potentially permanently live, because if you haven't fitted a fuse, there's probably not fitted a breaker either to isolate it from the 12 volt. There's certainly no switch in the cockpit or cabin or anything that isolates it. So yeah, this could be sparks flying. So I have got my phone in arm's reach, just in case. So yeah, wish me luck. I'm now going to get into a small space and try and take you guys with me. So I'll give you a shout when we're in the engine bay. So you join me in a very small C-Line S43 engine bay. For those of you that are considering buying an S43, I'm 5'10", and this is about as good as I can get upright. I'm also sat on the engine behind me, not even stood upright. So, where I need to get to. That black thing there is the heater. And if we look underneath, you will see a wire, this one here, coming down. This wire contains the power lines. You can just see there, well, from your angle you can't, but where I am just here, there's actually some bare red and black wires that then go into this trunking and then go down. That trunking goes straight down into the engine boxes. I cannot see any obvious fuse boxes or fuses in line that I can pop out or anything easy to disconnect it. Ironically, now that I'm in here, it's actually stopped spinning. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm going to go and pull it anyway. So I need to work out how to get around there. Now, it is between the engines, so you can actually get in here and then around this back bit. And this is, to a normal person, this is a fairly decent sized space. To me, it's a bit snug. And then I can hopefully get through there. That's the isolation switch for the stern thruster, so I need to not catch that. And then hopefully I can get a mass around there and reach up, maybe laying on my back. I don't know, because that is the engine box, the battery box there, this thing here, which I'll need to lift up as well. So I might not be able to fit, but I'm going to try and crawl through now, and I'm not going to do that whilst holding you guys. So I will be back, hopefully, shortly. So, it turns out that this wire here that comes up from the batteries goes up and into this plug here. This plug was connected to this plug. So all I've done is split the plug, and now that entire unit is isolated. So, hopefully, no more random heating starting up. And now I can get my ass out of here somehow. So hopefully I'll be back in a few minutes. Not in this engine bay. So, I made it out. Well, mostly out. So my 3 little jobs that I wanted to do, I managed to do one. But it's probably the most important one. Isolating the randomly firing up diesel heater. So with that isolated, that's fine. That stopped my battery drain that I had. And I'm going to order 2 bits of the other stuff. I know it's a short video. I was hoping to do more, but we're still not quite light enough for me to get much done after work. So yeah, so I'll leave it there for now. Sorry it's so short, but hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things as we get a bit more daylight and it gets a bit warmer. In the meantime, take care. I'll see you all later. Have a good one. Bye bye.